match be absolutely devastating.
This is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you all can kiss my ass while I win this match.
All right, well, what's happening, everybody? Welcome to GWR Gonzo'S Wrestling Room. We already got Warden with the yeet going on over here. I'm choking as soon as the damn show starts. I don't know what's going on.
No, that's right. I'll start choking here in a minute.
February 3rd, 2025, coming off the big Royal Rumble weekend in Indianapolis, which all of us was down in Indy this weekend. 4 of us did attend the Rumble, and then 4 of us also attended a couple other shows while we was down there. So got a lot to talk about today.
Yes,
but I'm joined by Tony Gonzo'S as always, Warren Misery, and Marcus Fine as always, and then we have Big Glenn with us tonight. So how's it going, guys?
Doing fantastic.
Oh yeah.
Got the P-Light and Gatorade going. The exhaustion probably hit me today, but I'll be ready to go when it comes down to Daytona next week. So
cool. Marcus, we'll go ahead and do our independent wrestling report.
All right. Well, let's see. Do birthdays first. We got a few. Referee wrestler CJ West's birthday is today. Zodiac. Do you guys know Zodiac?
Yep.
He's the guy with the fire in his hand. His birthday is on Friday. Jennifer Craig, which is a WCWO superfan, her birthday is on Saturday. And Melissa Hiley, which is Ivar the Micro's wife, her birthday is on Sunday. So happy birthday to everybody there. So I'll try to get through this.
Hey, what's up, Billy?
Billy.
Strep throat.
yep, there you go, Billy. You're right down, man.
Okay, we'll get the ones that did not take place in Indianapolis first. Courtesy of the owner promoter of Triple Crown Wrestling in Ferguson, Kentucky, Triple Crown Wrestling. I love the way this guy wrote this out. They had a show on Sunday or Saturday while you guys were all at the Rumble. They were running a show down there at the Ferguson Gym. Triple Crown Wrestling presented championship showcase at the old Ferguson Gym, Ferguson, Kentucky. Brandon Wolf was able to retain his precious UCW Ultimate Championship against a hungry Charles Colton via DQ due to outside interference from his Sweetwater Syndicate counterpart Trace Evans, in which he soon learned the Wolf was not alone as the crowd erupted when the hometown hero Chris Matthews hit the ring, even the odds. Randall Shane decided he would rather run instead of stand toe-to-toe with the Appalachian giant known as Amos Abel. Shane was able to drag his Southern States title back home to Bowling Green via count-out. The good Reverend Ronnie Roberts was able to please the congregation and retain his All-American Championship Wrestling title by a schoolboy pin as he was able to fight off both. Sorry, he had a typo. Evil Eric Porter and the Dalai Lama of professional wrestling, Brandon T. Wilson. See, they wrote it wrong, so I had to write down what he said his name really was. Due to the events that took place earlier in the night, impromptu match took place that enforced which seen the Sweetwater Syndicate. They were able to defeat the team of Matthews and Wolf via pinfall. Izzy Vaden retained the TCW heavyweight title by swag surfing past the Hammer Jamie Vincent to end the night. And that actually was written by Keenan Bell and Brandon, whatever his name is. Brandon Wilson sent it to me. So thank you to that. Okay, let me go back over here. FEW was in Greenfield on Sunday. These are courtesy of Johnny Blaze and the FEW owner, Alex Bolton. 6-man scramble match. FEW Tag Team Champion JT Kirk defeated Elijah Arrows, Ashton Adonis, Ricky Guns, Bird, and Christian Cash by a pinfall. Women's champion Crystal Moon defeated Carter Kaufman via pinfall after a masked man tripped Carter to retain. Jacob Rose defeated the FEW heavyweight champion Mitchell Taylor via DQ. Mitchell used his taser on him. Andre Stray and Storm Garcon defeated Vinny Vachetti and Avery Hertz via pinfall. FEW Mid-Continental Champion Logan Myers defeated Ryan Michaels by pinfall. Ashton Adonis defeated Jackson Morgan via count out. J-Rock Daddy defeated Austin Elm. Brandon Day defeated Dio Salvador. And then Zay Gates defeated Matt Grant 2 out of 3 falls. Zay got 2. Grant got 1, and then Grant tried to shake his hand, and they kind of had a scuffle afterwards. So,
Yeah, okay. Jerome House, Hollywood, how's it going?
What up? Happy belated birthday, Mr. House.
Yep, what's up, Herbert? Okay, now do you want me to
How's it
start?
going, Hollywood?
You want me to? Hang on, I lost him.
Got Alex Bolton in here.
Cover
Who
what
cares
we
about Alex? We can move on with Alex.
cover what we said. You ready for that?
Ready for what, Marcus? I didn't hear you.
Friday night, our Friday night.
Yes.
All right, 950 plus. 950 plus
950 plus.
Streaming.
I knew it was 900 plus.
fans. Well, Austin James said they stopped counting at 950.
They still had a line.
And they still had a line.
Yeah, the place was packed. It was standing room only, man. It was awesome.
Okay, here we go. WCWO's Thunderstorm at the Edison School for the Arts, Indianapolis, Indiana. Mike Noble defeated Zach Nova to retain the WCW Gunslinger title. TJ Powers won the Thunderstorm Royal Rumble. He got a shot at the WCW Outlaw Champion at the Unrated show later in the night. Deamaya Ho defeated Missa Kate. The James Gang defeated Highlight Reel and Zay Gates. The James Gang defeated the teams of the Highlight Reel and Zay Gates and David Light in a triple threat tag team match. They are the new WCWO tag team champions. Too Tough Tony defeated Maliko via DQ in a title for title match. JKO and Andre Stray defeated Mike Noble and TJ Powers. Rachel Armstrong defeated IK3. Tex Royal defeated Mr. Anderson in a 2 out of 3 falls. And Chavo Guerrero Jr. defeated Logan Myers. And then we all booked it our asses across the street and down around the corner, which literally that's just as far as we had to go, to the Unrated show, which was also I heard 300 plus. I don't know. I think could be. They were packed in there.
They were packed.
So, yeah, it was a
There
full
were a few standing.
standing there sitting on the steps. So it was packed pretty hard. Jake Oman and Elijah Arrows defeated Gamboa and KOs. I think I said that right. The guys from South Africa. Zach Nova defeated Waterboy and Juan Sanchez in a triple threat mousetrap thumbtack match.
Mousetraps. They're still having nightmares about those mousetraps.
Yeah, well, some bitches didn't know how to. They were snapping them, trying to set them up. That was what was funny. And then nobody told them that they were running in front of us. So they come running in front of us and run right through them.
Sit on the floor and
Ran right through them. Cecil Cerveza defeated Pogo in an unlucky 7 match. That's where they got the money stapled. Well, it's not stapled. They thumbtacked them well to them, which was a little, I think, more abusive than taking the staple gun, where they were actually pounding those tacks into them.
No, what was more abusive was Owens bringing out the bigger taser, and I don't know. I don't think Pogo could sit down for the rest of the night as many times as he took taser to the high end.
Well, and they both had those mousetraps on their dicks, and Cecil had it on his tongue, and yeah, fun stuff.
That sounds crazy as hell.
I guess
We're not even done yet.
Oh yeah,
Glenn, goodness. IK3 defeated Troy Valentine in an IK3's House of Horrors match. That was like twos galore. Zay Gates defeated Christian Cash in a street fight. Maliko defeated TJ Powers in a Lego thumbtack pinata on a pole. No, pinata match. Retained the WCW Outlaw title. Jackson Morgan defeated Mike Noble in a pop cans on a board match. And, of course, Mike Noble ran his mouth at the first show, pissed off JKO, told him, you better watch it. But at the second show, he pissed off Mike King and got his ass handed to him half a dozen times over the Friday, Saturday time frame.
They threw even more pop cans in the ring to start the match. Joey came out with a big old box and said, "Here we
I'm
go."
laughing because I looked at Kelly and says, "Is he cleaning out the back room?" He said, "Take that box and throw that in the ring," because that's what it looked like. Because he's throwing his trash out.
Because that's just like with the Gates and Cash matches. They went backstage for a little bit. He comes out with a barrier.
Oh yeah, barrier broke Christian down through it. Oh yeah.
And then and he did the splash on Christian. He was in the can. Oh, in the garbage can. Oh man, there were some headshots galore too.
And then main event, and I guess I labeled this right because these guys' opponents did not show up. So it was supposed to be Brody Botkins and Hank Calhoun and Phoenix and Easy Cruz, but Easy Cruz and Hank was not there. So I think I labeled this right. Brody Botkins defeated Phoenix in a gusset plate hardcore death match.
Oh, that's the one. What told me about?
That's pretty much how I would describe it.
Phoenix win. He had, I don't know how many stitches he had. I seen the back, and I'm sitting there counting
5
off
and 9
numbers.
is what I heard.
How many?
5 in one elbow, 9 in the other.
Okay, I counted the 9 elbow then, so I got it right because I said 9. And I got that bloody ass board.
They had the house of glass tubes that Brody put them through. I mean, it was lived up to it.
Yeah,
there was some great shows this weekend. Want to give a shout out. There were shows at other places. I heard they did pretty well too. Got to give a shout out for WCWO. Like I said, over 900 plus. Hell, there may have been 1,000. Who knows how many? There was a lot of people. I knew they sold close to 600 pre-sale, and then when I went out to the hallway, everybody that was coming in was buying tickets. So I knew it was going. I come in and told Marcus Chris, I said it's going to be packed because everybody coming through the door is buying tickets. So
Chris went outside and said they were coming out like it was like a zombie apocalypse. They were coming from all angles.
I went out to smoke a cigarette, and you look down the street, and there's just people, or just a mob of people walking toward the school, and this is 15 minutes before the show's supposed to start, and there was already a line, and you went inside, and it was already pretty full. Like, man, and some more of that show. Chavo Guerrero was impressive. I mean, that dude could still wrestle on TV right now if he really wanted to. He was real impressive in that match. Logan, I thought him and Logan Myers put on a hell of a show. But I want to give out. You also mentioned WCWO. I want to give a big thank you to Joey Owens and the whole WCWO family for having us down there this weekend and letting us be a part of all that. That's the biggest show that we've ever commentated. That's the biggest show GW or Gonzo'S has ever been set up at. I mean, it was awesome. I got to personally meet Chavo and Mr. Anderson that night.
Yep.
So I mean, it was just a great weekend all around.
And I want to
thank. It was a great show. Me and Marcus messaged earlier that it's going to take one hell of a show to be able to beat that for show of the year. It was just everything was outstanding. If I had any criticism, I thought the Rumble was a little long, but it was still very good. And everything else, man, was just, I mean, outstanding. My match of the night was IK3 and Rachel Armstrong, but there was other ones on there. I mean, like he mentioned the Logan Myers match, it could have been match of the night. Dex Royal's match against Mr. Kennedy, it could have been that tag team match where the James Gang won was outstanding. I mean, it was just a great show, and it was great to be a part of it and had a lot of fun.
What about that Canadian destroyer Rachel hit on IK3 off the top rope?
It was outstanding.
I bet that place blew up when she did that.
Yes, it did.
That place never shut off.
No.
I mean, I was worse.
And then to leave there and go over to the Dub for that show, and that place was packed. I mean, they had to add more chairs and shut down the entrance to the back just to keep fitting people in there. And that crowd was crazy all night as well. Some of the shit I heard people say, I'm like, wow.
I want to get Marcus' thoughts on the Thunderstorm show. What'd you think, Marcus?
Well, you know what I think. That was that's a memory
out there. Tell the people.
Share with our public.
That's the first time we're screaming commentary.
Yeah.
Because we can't hear each other. I mean, I'm still got a throat issue going here. And the fans, I mean, I never seen anything like it. I haven't been in a crowd that big that was big time since Bruiser, and I still only think he put 900 people at Tender Armory. I think that's the biggest show I've been in that's not been a big time show ever. And I asked T.S. Wiley because he commentated the second half. He says,
you poor souls.
He's never worked a crowd that big.
Warren, see what I had to put up with since you weren't there? I had to put up with Wiley, man.
I'm sorry. I'll make it up next time. Just.
And listen to this. I found out, to my shock, that Wiley and Chris was brothers.
Whoa.
And how nice damn sure ain't his damn dad.
Who the hell? Wait a minute. Who
Wiley
the hell?
boys.
Let's talk through the show.
We ain't brothers.
I think Wiley said you guys are brothers. If I remember right.
Hey, Tony, did Frankie tell you that?
But Marcus, to your point,
Dad,
I can't wait to rewatch it back and hear the commentary because we were all fired up during that whole show. So I'm sure the commentary turned out pretty good.
It was fun, man. It was definitely outstanding. And then going to the next show, which Warren was there, and I want to get Warren's thoughts on that show first of all. It was the first. I don't know if it was it the first kind of hardcore death match show you've been to, or you've been to others?
Well, this was the first time I've been to the Dub. Like we did Marcus, Chris, and I did a WCWO show in Lebanon, but this was the first time I was the Dub, and I wanted this moment because I do really want to speak a very truthful, heartfelt take on my first time at the Dub in WCWO. Okay. And I say this, and I'm not trying to disrespect any other promotions anywhere in Indiana. I love you all. But what I saw with WCWO and Joey Owens and what they got going on there is that is a place that isn't concerned about flash. It isn't concerned about looking glamorous. They want to train their guys. They want to train them right. They want them to have fun. They want to they literally show the heart of what being a wrestler is. And it's great. And, I think that is one of the best places to go to learn to wrestle. And you see it in the guys' faces and the way they act. You can see that they're well trained. You can see that they're enjoying what they're doing. And like I said, it's not about flash. They're not there to impress by looks. They're there to impress by what they do in the ring and what they have done in the ring. And what I saw Friday night with me and Shady Princess, Mrs. Misery, was some amazing stuff. And to think that, that these guys went out and did what they did, put their bodies on the line, and some, like I said, 6 and 9 stitches for some, to do this, to entertain, it speaks a lot about WCWO and Joey Owens and the rest of the crew he's got there. And then everything after the show, when everything was done, and just the absolute respect you see they have for someone like that, it speaks volumes for this place. And honestly, if there is anyone, I'm gonna put this out here just to say I don't get paid by Joey. I don't get paid by anyone else. I mean, seriously, if you look for a place to train, I would suggest WCW to at least give them a look, because they're going to give you a straightforward deal, and they're going to cut you right and treat you right. But the show itself was amazing from start to finish. It was like my first major hardcore death match type style. I don't want to say death, because it really wasn't death matches. It was very, very hardcore, but it was a lot of fun. I know everyone got their money's worth. There's no way anyone walked out of that show and was disappointed. No way. And if they were disappointed, they're not a wrestling fan.
No, and to your point, another cool thing was, like, after that show, it's 3:30 in the morning, and like all the wrestlers was out there talking to the fans and just everybody just shooting the shit and stuff. It wasn't like that they were rushing you out. I mean, most of the wrestlers was out there interacting with everybody.
They're respectful to the crowd. They're respectful to each other, and I can't speak enough for that.
Real quick, we have a Phoenix
He was the
comment
guy
on here.
in the main event.
He was in the ER till 10 a.m. the next morning.
Sir, thank you so much for it. You entertained, and get well soon, man.
I got something to tell Phoenix, because we don't normally talk. But Phoenix, if I ever have a raid on my house, they're going to think I killed you somewhere, because I got so much of your damn DNA in this house, between your hardcore matches and that board, that shirt. I got more Phoenix blood than I think any other blood in my house.
Marcus also has a pinata leg.
Yeah.
And Marcus, I wanted to ask you about that too, because I know you're not usually big on like the hardcore stuff like that and the glass and all that stuff. What did you think of that Friday night?
Well, I love hardcore. I don't like glass. I told Joey, I says, every so often this was great. It was tastefully done. Most hardcore matches you ever watch them, that's all they're trying to do is outdo each other with, let's see how we can break this tube on your head. Let's see how we can break all these tubes glued together. They didn't do that. It was tastefully done.
They did good, yeah.
And I was very impressed with it.
Yeah, and a lot of things too. Quite a few of these guys had never done that type of matches before. For some of them, it was their first time doing this. So I thought they did a great job.
And another thing, some of these guys had just worked over at the other show right before that. That's the other thing that's so impressive too, is that they just put on a show that started at 7:30 with nearly 1,000 people there, and then we didn't get out of there till after 11, and then you're at the Dub and at midnight starting a whole nother show, and look how good that show was. I mean, just the way they're organized and everybody helps and gets things going. It's amazing to watch in a way.
And to go back real quick for what Warren was saying about how these guys are taught and everything, they do a great job there, and the level of respect that those wrestlers are taught and taught to give to people. And perfect example, and I was just so impressed, and I wasn't surprised because it happens all the time. But Dex Royal and the Highlight Reel, who had wrestled on the other show, did not wrestle on this show. I think they were over at another show because Rachel was wrestling on it. Came there, was in the back, but before they left, they came out and seen me and Chris, shook our hands, give us a hug, said hi to us, just to pay respects. And that's the type of people, and that's the way they're taught over there. I mean, I was blown away from the very first time I ever went over, but it hasn't changed. I mean, and every single, even the new rookies that are in the class right now, when we come in the door, they're there to greet us and say, hello, how are you doing,
And
sir?
and you know what the next thing they say? Do you need any help?
You need any help?
That's hi, how you doing? Do you guys need any help carrying anything in or anything?
Yes. Just outstanding. WCWO is outstanding. And I know people probably get tired of me hearing it, to hear me saying it, but it just really is. But all I'll say that, hey, the state of Indiana, the Royal Rumble, and all the wrestling shows prove that Indiana is a wrestling town. I mean, we had stuff at other places that sold good tickets. I know what WCWO did because I was there, and I know what the Rumble did because I was there, and I know what the city of Indianapolis did to put on this event with the WWE. It was just outstanding.
And a big shout out to Mike Lee, Skull Crusher, for our for the souvenir.
Yep.
The souvenir that he made us.
Yep.
And almost everybody wrestled that, and I think everybody actually signed it for us, which was cool too.
I mean, yeah, you can literally say that Indy balled out this weekend. I mean,
no doubt about that, Warren.
You know, and it was amazing. And you know, like I said, we got other people in here from other promotions that were elsewhere and stuff. And I mean, yeah, it was so cool.
Marcus, you're gonna have to share those photos with me.
Yeah, I'll send them.
Billy, we do have video of the Thunderstorm show with Chavo and Mr. Anderson. I'm going to be airing that here soon.
Not the hardcore show.
We don't have video of the hardcore show. I do have a couple little videos of the hardcore show that I will be putting out on our page. One of them is actually Phoenix getting thrown into the house of light tubes. I got a pretty decent video of that on my phone, so I'll put that up. And then I think I have one of IK3.
Hey, Marcus,
hitting dude with something. I forget exactly what he hit him with. That one.
Where can Billy Buzz go to see your pictures, Marcus? Because I know you had some really good pictures.
Or if he's on Facebook, you can go to Facebook. If you send me an email, Billy Buzz, send me your email and I'll send them to you.
Yeah, he's got some great pictures.
I mean, that unrated show, I don't think we can record that anyways, because that would be rated R with the amount of F-bombs that were dropped.
Yeah, there was a lot of F-bombs.
I was going
particularly from Dirty Juan Sanchez. He was just F-bomb.
I was going to record it.
F-bomb. You get an F-bomb.
Oh, yeah. I was going to record it, but I got the camera set up and the damn memory card was full.
We really didn't have time to set up.
And I didn't have time to try to delete stuff off the memory card and all that because the show was getting ready.
Because I got an extra one.
Because we was just going to record it without no commentary, but
there wasn't room to really set up.
And it was hard. It was hard trying to get the camera set up back there. Because I mean, you had people all the way, which was cool. I had a blast. I had a blast just watching and enjoying it.
Yeah.
So
yep, I agree.
Yeah, it's probably videos you have to put on like OnlyFans or something like that, to where you can watch it. You know, I don't want to talk about like adult. I mean, not that part of adult content, but just
I know somebody yelled out "twist his dick," and I was like, "What in the hell's going
I
on?"
did hear that.
yeah, that would be some OnlyFans content.
But again, congratulations to WCWO and Joey and his whole team. Everybody's involved. That's people that did security. That's people that did concessions to the Raptors. I mean, putting up the ring, tearing down the ring. That's the thing. They had to go tear down the ring the next day at the other venue because they would be putting on another show.
Yeah, like they had to pack the place for the Chavo Guerrero.
Yeah, they had to clean that mess up at the Dub. So,
fact. So, just a great weekend.
Well, I guess Kenneth Jeffers has a question for Warren.
Yeah, fire away, man.
Can I say something?
Yeah, go ahead.
Gary Emmett posted, because I was trying to come up with some kind of quote to summarize stuff, and he wrote something out, and I asked if I could quote him on this, and he gave me full permission. Okay. So this is from our friend Gary Emmett, who run AWR, I think is what it was.
Yep, AWR.
He's a friend of the podcast, and this is from him. He said, "Proud of everyone this weekend. But remember, Indiana wrestling fans, keep the same excitement. Wrestling happens almost weekly here. Find a promotion, invest that excitement with them, follow the stories, cheer, boo, support independent wrestling." I don't know how to say it any better than that.
Absolutely.
I do not know. With SmackDown in town, all the sold-out shows, with the Royal Rumble, of course, Royal Rumble took, but then, I mean, the whole city.
Just the amount of money that people spent. I mean, it's not cheap to go to a SmackDown or to a Rumble or to go to the superstores, and that was another thing about Joey and them. And I don't know what the ticket prices were the other place. I don't think they was outrageous, but I know because Joey told us. I know I could have charged more, but he charged $15 for the floor seats and $12 for the other seats.
Same as he does for a regular Friday night show?
Yes, and still bringing in the stars because he said he wanted to make it family friendly. A family a family of four could have come for $60, sat in the front row, or they could, up front, or they could have sat in the bleachers or whatever for family of four for under $50. I mean, he wanted to make it affordable, and so more people could come and have a good time. And I respect Joey for that. And
I'll tell you what, the kids was having a blast at that Thunderstorm show. They were all of them standing up on their chairs.
Yeah.
And
yes.
Oh, and I want to thank Jared Bird and Chris, because Chris started it, to get Mark Henry to come to me since I couldn't get to him, because he literally was the furthest point from me, because I was at one end of the building and he literally was at the other. Chris went and asked Mike, and they brought him to me, and I thank you both for that. So,
Warren, you want to answer that question?
Yeah, I'm going to answer it. I'm trying. I am trying so hard. I live probably about an hour and 20 minutes from the Dub. I work my job here until roughly 5 o'clock. And right now I'm also working a part-time job up through the end of tax season. But I am trying. I'm trying very hard. I want to get out there. I've told Marcus many, many, many times I want to get there. And when it happens, he will be the first to know. So he can make sure he gets me a seat right next to him and the world's greatest superfan, Kelly Fine. And I will get there. I promise it will happen. I just can't give a time, but I do. I would so bad check out a Friday show with you guys.
Before we move on, Warren, I have one more question for you about the Dub. What did you think of the building? I think that's like
I loved it.
Especially that night.
It was grimy. It was in the dirt. That's what I'm saying. That's what it shows about WCWO, is that it's not flash. They are there for wrestling. They are not there to wear Ric Flair robes and have spotlights.
Very old school.
Yeah, and that's what I love.
You know what kind of feel it had to it?
It bled indie wrestling. Yep. I loved it.
And with them doing that hardcore stuff, that Friday night it had like a underground fight club feel to it. We was in there Friday. You know what I mean? It was cool.
I'm up to the top rope and I'm looking. There's an I-beam right there, and I know how that dude can jump. And I'm like, I hope he doesn't hit that I-beam. Like, and it was amazing. I loved it. And to follow up on just with indie wrestling in Indianapolis and the wrestling, I come from Southern Michigan, where you barely know anything or hear anything about independent wrestling. You don't really know that there's any around. and you're just stuck with what you see on TV. And I've been down here, and I've been pulled in by you guys, by Chris Chaos, by SWS, by Larry Poffo, by Buck Sexton. They've all pulled me in, and they've drawn me into this, and I am loving every minute I do these things. And that's why the people in this area just need to continue to go to this stuff, because it is, I know it's an overused thing, but it's a drug. And once it's in your veins, man, you've got to keep getting more. And people
Absolutely.
that, got to do this. And I hope what happened this weekend with the Rumble and WWE and WCWO and all those other promotions, I hope more and more people have caught on and gotten this drug in there, just like you guys have said with PopCon and Indiana Comic Con when WCWO is there, how you keep seeing newer people show up and find out that this stuff is really fun.
Yeah, some of the
And
people
it's right out here at the Convention Center too, so yeah.
Yeah, some of the people that went to WrestleCon or PopCon are now, and Marcus can attest it, are now wrestling at the Dub.
And Warren, that was Kenneth James that was asking him questions.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, the conniving Kenneth James.
Hey, Marcus, before we move on, I do have something. We do have something for you, which we'll give you next time we get to see you. But I think you'll enjoy this. I'm gonna go bigger for a minute. This is William Afflis Jr.
Dick the Bruiser.
And it has a thing on the back, and you got this other one that's Bruiser.
Oh, yeah, you guys got that from Town Square. I do believe.
And then they done this thing called the Bruiser Bulletin. And it's this newsletter thing. And it has all kinds of different things on it about wrestling.
Is that going to be are they going to do that periodically, or?
I'm not sure. I'll have to ask.
Stories if they want. I could contribute some to that, but that's fantastic.
Yeah, that actually some of our family
help make some of that stuff.
Did the printing and some of the writing for this. So
super cool.
That's how we got a hold of it.
But she had dropped those off at my uncle's house, and I went and picked them up yesterday. But next time we see you, we'll bring them. But yeah, they're pretty cool.
Sounds great.
Okay,
yeah, I know that helped out with the Rumble stuff and just all that in general. I'm sure you probably heard her name, Lawrence Barkman. I've seen a lot of her posts of the Dick the Bruiser stuff over the last couple of weeks. So that's amazing stuff right there.
And I wanted to say before we get wrapping up the indie stuff, we get into the big dogs. I did run into my Warrior Pro contact this weekend, and I did get a little bit of info that to stay tuned to Warrior Pro Wrestling, because there's going to be another big announcement coming out, and this one's a really big one too. Pretty cool one.
Yes, I know that announcement too, and we'll leave that to when that announcement's supposed to be made.
Yeah.
When we before we get into the Rumble, another thing I thought it's actually about the Rumble I thought was cool was you have over 70,000 people there, and I ran into so many people that I knew. Like I'm walking around the stadium, and I run into Warren. What's the odds of that? Ran into Glenn multiple times over the weekend. So Justin Terrell, Dirty Bird Rooster, I ran into him at Lucas Oil when I was walking around before the show when I was going to concession.
Hypocrisy Jones.
Yeah, Hypocrisy Jones. We ran into him. We stood outside with him for a while before going in. I mean,
I found out
a lot of people like Ref Cody and them we saw at the WrestleCon.
Yeah.
No.
Hey, Marcus, we got to talk about him and Cody later.
I found near the end of the night that one section over, Zay Gates and David Light were like one section over from me, because we were in 614. You guys were in 608. Chris told me to come up. I tried looking for you, Tony, but you weren't standing up, so I couldn't see you over there.
Hey, I got lost. Hey guys, before we start talking about the Rumble, we got one other thing. We got our top 5 independent wrestlers.
Oh no, I was so wrapped up in the Rumble.
That's okay. If you don't have it, that's fine. Marcus, I'll go first. My top 5 and Chris, if you don't have yours, you got yours. I'll go first.
Oh my God, Chris is showing me up. Chris even had them.
For my independent, my number 5 went to Dex Royal and Logan Myers for the big matches they had this weekend. My number 4 went to the James Gang for winning back the tag team championships. My number 3 went to IK3. Again, I thought he was one half of the best match of that I've seen so far this year, which is still very early in the year. And number 2, Jared Kripke, who just won the Warrior Pro Championship, Heavyweight Championship. So he's my number 2. My number 1 went to Brody Bodkins, who defended his belt at War Pro, and then wrestled one half of that person in a death match at the main event of that death match show there at the Dub, and just laid it all on the line, just like his opponent did. He was my number one for this week. Marcus, you want to go next?
Yeah, mine is actually the special top 6. Because of this weekend, I had to create a 6th spot.
Well, I kind of did because I did 2 for 5.
These guys just make their own rules.
Yeah, well, at least anyhow, at number 6, it was a tie between the James gang because they did regain their tag team championships, and Elijah Arrows, who had a pinfall on IK3 at the fundraiser show.
Okay.
So number 5, Zach Nova. He had a pinfall over the Gunslinger champion Mike Noble and Zay Gates in the same weekend. Number 4, Jared Kripke for winning the WPW title. 3 was Maliko for winning the WCW Outlaw title. Number 2, Brody Botkins for winning the WPW Riot. And number 1 is a guy who only had 2 minutes of ring time, if that. So it's not really because of his ring time, but because of what he did this weekend. I got JKO on that list for what he did this weekend. Because he only wrestled 2 minutes this month, if that. But JKO's got to take that number 1 spot because I just wish Basher was here. Kelly and I was talking. I'm not sure. Nothing against Basher, but he was really old school. I'm not sure we could have pulled that off if he was still here.
Oh, he took it as far as
But Joey picked up the ball and he had to.
he's running with it.
And I think his dad would be happier in hell because I know that the rest of the family is. So.
Yes.
And you knew Basher. I didn't get the pleasure of meeting him, but yeah, I guarantee he'd be proud of him.
And that tribute he did before he come out, I'm back there about ready to start crying. Kelly said she was too because if you knew him, that you couldn't help it. So
Just let it all out, man.
Chris?
All right. Number 5, I have Supernova Zach Nova. Number 4, I went with, even though I don't really like him, I went with Mike Noble. Number 3, Jared Kripke. 2, Brody Botkins. And at number 1 for me this month, I went with Logan Myers.
Hey Chris, where was Reggie Edwards on your list for that chop that he took from Malenka last week?
I'd have him at probably 51.
51? Sounds about right.
look who popped in the chat.
What's that?
So
Where did you have list?
They had a video of it was on Wish TV. Malenko chopped Reggie.
Chopping Reggie, yeah. Warren, did you have a list or?
I didn't have a list, but honestly, my list would have been a lot of what you guys had out there, so I couldn't agree. But I do want a very special mention to a very young rookie, the young Simba that showed up at Warrior Pro and clotheslined a few guys. You know, you go back and ask yourself if he's 11. If you're that age. I mean, what kind of ball and nerves would you have to try to go in there and do that? And the fact that he went and he performed, way to go, man.
And then one other one would be ring announcer for WCWO, Abby.
Yeah.
I thought she did an awesome job for Friday, at both shows Friday night, but at Thunderstorm in front of, I know that's the biggest crowd she's ever been in front of. And I thought she done a great job.
Yeah, she killed it. No doubt about it. Okay, real quick, I got my pro wrestling top 5. This does not include the Rumble because the Rumble was not in January. So my number 5 was Ricochet. I think he's doing a good job of becoming a great heel. My number 4 is Oba Femi. I think he's killing it for NXT. My number 3 is Kevin Owens. I think he's been killing it, really helping some Cody Rhodes even become a better babyface and being a great heel. My number 2 was a tie. It's Gunther and Rhea Ripley. I think both still killing it. My number 1 was Cody Rhodes. So that was for January. My pro wrestling top 5. Okay, guys, let's talk about this Royal Rumble.
We want to talk about next week. Next week we start our 2024.
Yes.
Yeah. Year-end
awards. We'll begin out 4 of those. top fives. We'll all have top fives, or something like that. I don't know if Warren will have top fives because I know he doesn't see as many
I'll put my
matches.
best together.
So whatever he wants to put together, he can put together. But we'll have the 4 categories next week. The week after that, 3, and the week after that will be the big 3. We'll start next week with that.
I could put a professional list together, but I was thinking I'll actually be in the air when you guys go live next month.
Yep. So
I can send you a
I
list.
if it's okay, guys, I wanted to get Marcus' take on the Royal Rumble. If he did, you get to watch it, Marcus?
Oh yeah, I gotta watch it.
I want to get Marcus' takes because and the reason I say this is because I've heard some criticism that the fans wasn't loud enough.
You're in a different arena.
That place was louder than hell in there. Now I don't know how, and I watched it on TV and I didn't think it was bad, but I will say I think it was louder in that place than when it came off on TV. And not that I thought the crowds, the fans were bad. It's just you're in that great big football stadium, and you're not in a small stadium, so I do think it affects it a little bit. But the crowd was not dead. So I want to get Marcus's opinion.
Can we ask something first before we go to the Royal Rumble?
Yes.
Glenn was at SmackDown. Do you want him to cover SmackDown?
That's up to him.
Let me go ahead and pull some results.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's okay.
Just
give me a quick second to pull up results. The lines to get in was pretty long. I didn't have to wait too long. I got there at the right time. The kickoff show took place inside the atrium of the Phil House before you go through the ticket line. That was free, but after that was over, they took an hour to kick everybody out and everybody back in. So I'm pulling up SmackDown results right now. SmackDown results.
Marcus caught him off guard.
I guess I did. I
do
just
the SmackDown. And then we'll talk a little bit after he does SmackDown. We'll talk a little bit about the Superstore and some of the stuff leading up to the Rumble.
Because I know once we start Rumble, we ain't going to stop. So
then we'll.
Well, we'll need the Rumble countdown. Chris, can you just do 10?
Yes.
We'll move to the next 10.
Okay, so
you can't do that. That's copyrighted somehow. But anyway, go ahead.
So here's the thing. I don't remember exactly if the start of the show. Everything is kind of ran together at that point, but they brought out Damian Priest, and him and Fatu was going face to face, and Buddy. The crowd was murmuring when they did that, and that could be a great feud coming up at some point. As far as the results, CM Punk and Kevin Owens smack talk each other, chances that there were a Rumble. When CM Punk came out, the crowd went nuts. Obviously, we're not too far from Chicago, so no surprise there. Jimmy Uso defeated Carmelo Hayes. This one I found quite entertaining because obviously I'm a Pacer fan. Tyrese Halliburton was in the front row giving Carmelo Hayes hell and stuff. And after the match, Carmelo Hayes walked by his section and stuff, and he was getting into it. Man, Tyrese was having the time of his life out there, and it's great to see, actually. The women's championship match ended in disqualification after Chelsea Green hit Michin with a kendo stick. And Motor City Machine Guns and Los Garza defeated DIY and Pretty Deli. Naomi defeated Liv Morgan by pinfall. Andrade defeated Miz by pinfall. And Nia Jax got Tiffany Stratton with a Annihilator. This SmackDown, I love going to it because it's part of the Rumble weekend, but it honestly felt blah at the end of the night.
I could see that.
He said,
"Yeah, I hate to talk down about it like that, but it honestly felt blah. But hey, it was.
It's kind of the calm before the storm.
Yes.
Okay. Real quick, I wanted to talk a little bit. On Friday, we went to the Superstore. It was a very good experience for us. I know some people on Saturday might have been a lot rougher getting in and out of there. Stuff may have been sold out, but we went Friday. We went at the perfect time. Had a great experience. I got my Cody Rhodes shirt on here. Chris got my awesome Stone Cold Steve Austin jacket and some other stuff. Warren's got his Royal Rumble shirt on.
I got my Royal Rumble.
I got the shirt and stuff.
Oh, we got the Trish.
Yep, I did.
Hey, Warren, I popped like a little kid when her music hit. I ain't gonna lie.
But
Austin was laughing at me because I've always been a big Trish Stratus fan. As soon as that music hit, 'cause I wasn't expecting her to be there.
Yes. The lines for the follow-ups and stuff was pretty easy. The Superstore line was pretty good. Was pretty rough if you don't like waiting and standing in line, especially on Saturday. I'm happy my follow-up with I Let Dawn and Alpha Fire was actually at 9:30 right after they opened, because I was able to go to Saturday last week at 8x10. And the crowd really hadn't got in there yet, but the line getting in was stretched up the stairs, up the hallway, around pretty much to the west end, and it was following people in rather quickly, thankfully, and stuff.
We got lucky 'cause when we got there on Friday at we got there probably about
1:32.
1:32 o'clock in the afternoon Friday.
Yeah, I wasn't too bad for you guys. I just saw it and I don't like standing like that. So I know how long the week is going to be for me. So anytime I can save some steps or stand, I'm going to obviously do that. But yeah, the Superstore, everything was relatively expensive, and by Saturday morning, everything had pretty much been picked through. So if he was looking for something very specific, you probably wasn't going to find it.
Not on Saturday.
Yeah, I mean, I was about an hour ahead of you guys on Friday. Yeah, I was walk right in, but like the photo op lines, like I've been to a lot of Comic Cons that have photo ops, and I've never seen it that full. Like that was insane.
Yeah,
but
it was very organized. I was very surprised.
Yeah, and like the Superstore, it was cool. I mean, unfortunately, they don't know their total target market because 3X was the max. So, there was some cool stuff. There was some interesting things. Like Glenn said, it was overpriced. And so, but it was interesting. Like I said, I wanted to find something that was cool. I got this one. I got the I Was There one.
I didn't think the T-shirts and stuff were too bad compared. Like if you go to a concert or something, they're a lot more than $40. So I didn't think the T-shirts and stuff were too bad. Now if you're gonna go for the signed belts and stuff like that, you're gonna pay. You're gonna pay.
Oh
I got the beanie. I think cost me $30. That's not terrible. I mean, if you go try to buy NFL hat or beanie, you're gonna pay $35 for it.
I mean, I maybe would have liked to see more wrestler variety.
Yeah,
they were really limited in what they had. Like I said, being from Michigan, I'm a huge Motor City Machine Gun fan. I would have loved being able to check out a Machine Gun shirt, but they didn't really have that.
Yeah.
And like they had one Penta shirt and one style of that, and it was sort of like. And then I saw they had the Austin vest, and that was like $125. I'm like,
yeah,
okay. Hey,
well, it was actually $150 because I looked at it and I ended up getting that jacket instead because the jacket was $120.
Yep.
And I was like, I'll wear the jacket more, and I'm gonna mess with that vest. So
I'm not gonna go walk around my town in Austin.
Vest, yeah.
But so I bought that jacket, and then I got that Pat McAfee shirt that says "Sorry about it."
Yeah.
What's funny is when I saw Chris and Tony on Friday when they was all out there in the hallway of Austin, is they saw that racing T-shirt and figured I was going to buy it. I had it on from where I bought it on Thursday.
Okay, on Saturday we went to WrestleCon, but before we went there, just to give a shout out real quick to a place that we ate that I thought was really good. It's called the Garage Food Hall. If you guys like food, go check that place out. It is outstanding. Got all kinds of different food. It's a food court, but it's a little higher end food court. It's not just basic food, but it was very good. Enjoyed it. Happened to me.
Story behind that place?
Not really.
That's the old bottling.
Okay.
Factory.
Yeah, Coca-Cola bottling plant.
Yeah.
And then while we were sitting there, a lady and going to assume maybe her husband, I don't know, dad, I'm not sure, didn't pay that much attention, but they approached us and checking out Chris's jacket, and then told us they were from Brazil, from the country Brazil. And they were here for the
Rumble.
For the Rumble. They were from Brazil. So I thought that was pretty cool. WrestleCon was pretty cool. You get up close to the people and stuff. Austin got his stuff, got a picture done with Marcus's favorite guy, Rob Van Dam.
Yeah, did he
And,
tell you that I give him hell?
Yeah,
Yeah.
he did.
So you got to prove this shit. If you don't know why, ask your grandfather.
Yeah, he did. He brought it up right too because I sat right beside him. And then his girlfriend got her picture done with the Iconics. She's a big Iconics fan, so she got a picture with the Iconics.
I was face to face with Rick Steiner coming out. He even gave me a little head nod. I was like, hey, what? It was cool.
Hey, I tell you what, man. That I was at WrestleCon Saturday. Or, no, it was Friday. That line for Joe Hendry was an hour long.
Yeah, the big
The
line
Hardy
on-
Boys
on
line
Saturday.
was huge on Saturday.
Yeah,
when we were
yeah,
there.
it was nuts.
And it's the same kind of stuff at Squared Circle. Same
Yes.
way, man. But it's great. My Glenn saw that. That's my big purchase right back there.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah.
It's the Elite, and it's autoed by everyone: Rhodes, Page, Omega, the Bucks, and Marty Scurll.
Yeah.
You might want to take Marty off there. You might take Marty off there.
Hey, you know what? Yeah, that's another time, another place. That
I know.
I almost bought this one that was Mick Foley, the three faces of Foley, and it was autographed.
It was autographed.
I think it was $250. I think it was $250. I thought about it.
Yeah, it was the figures of
I gave up
in the box and autographed.
Yeah, figures still in the box, and it was all signed.
I passed on getting autos from Maki Ito and Bully Ray Dudley to get that. I just saw it and I was like, I'm such a huge Elite. I'm such a huge fan. I was like, I had to do it. So
I was standing 2 feet from Ricky the Dragon Steamboat. Never thought that was going to happen. So that was really cool.
what blew my mind, I know you guys already met Chavo, but
Yeah.
I saw Mike King and we're friends with him. I'm talking to him in front of, and Chavo's right there at the table.
Yeah.
And I'm just talking to Mike King, like, you know, I'm just, and then right there. And then there's Rikishi.
Rikishi
And
right there.
knowing what we know now,
Yeah,
like
yeah,
Rikishi.
yeah. And Rikishi did not know.
Yeah, you could tell that in Mike King's video he posted. You could see it.
Oh yeah. Well, I seen the interview today on McAfee. His dad did not know he was going to win.
Yeah, he said he didn't tell his dad.
Didn't tell him.
Let's get into it then. This is the perfect
Yeah, let's do
segue.
it.
Let's talk this Rumble.
Let's start about the Women's Royal Rumble. We'll start off with that. Marcus, what do you think?
What do you want? You want my complaints or my happies?
Whatever you want to give first. And
I was happy to see Alexa Bliss.
Biggest pop of the night.
The
Biggest pop.
Well, because the dirt
Real
sheet
close.
said she wasn't coming, and one of the commentary guys said, "That's what you get for listening to dirt sheets."
Yeah, I love that they were burying Meltzer on commentary. That was funny. That's the only thing, I ain't gonna lie. Watching it live, being there live, that's the only thing I do miss is not being able to hear the commentary.
That's what my wife said. She's like, I wish we could hear what they're saying.
yeah.
I will say I was getting chills because I knew what you guys were seeing.
Yeah.
I mean, when Joe Hendrick, well, we'll get to that in a minute.
Okay.
I was all right with Trish Stratus. But I thought Nikki Bella, it's like, come on, you could not find anybody else to take the 30th spot or anybody else to even take her spot.
I wanted the man so bad. I wanted her so. I wanted Becky Lynch so bad.
Yeah.
They must have something else planned for her. I mean,
That's who Austin was hoping it was going to be too.
I was hoping it was going to be too. I wasn't shocked that it was Bella though, because I know they've been talking to her and she's been wanting to come back. I tell you the thing that stood out to me, NXT women really. There was 5 women from the NXT. I thought they did a fantastic job. Roxanne Perez proved herself. I mean, she started. I think she set the record.
Yeah, she broke the record. It was like
She was the last one left besides Charlotte. It was second. So I mean, it was outstanding. Marcus, go ahead. Didn't mean to interrupt.
Well, I didn't care for the fact that Charlotte won it because it's another one of those. Here we go again. These people bust their ass all year long. You bring somebody that's been either on the shelf or retired for a long time. They walk in, they take their spots. I don't agree with that. And it's happened
I understand what you're saying.
So many times at the Rumble. Now, who was the lady?
I understand what you're saying. It didn't surprise me. And I tell you what, the crowd still popped for her pretty good.
Oh yeah, she got a good pop from the crowd.
Could you tell she was having trouble ripping her shirt off?
Yeah.
She mentioned that. I watched that afterwards. Who picked up Dewdrop? I know that's not Piper Niven.
Oh, that was Jordan Grace.
Jordan Grace.
I love what Brian Cranville, and you know how I feel about Brian Cranville, but he made a statement that I agree 100%. it doesn't matter. You have these superstars that have already made it big, marking out for Jordan Grace.
Yeah.
And I love this. Like, dude, you're a spot on this weekend. I am telling you what. So
that was impressive too.
yeah, it was, because I was sitting here going,
Yeah.
oh, because Kelly was awake for that one. I'm like, oh, no, she wasn't. Hell, I don't know. Anyway, I was in here yelling. She probably was when I got done, but yeah, when she picked her up, I was like, oh, shit, she just picked her up. Now, I wouldn't have minded if Piper Niven had won. I'd been all right with that. But
Really?
I would like to see them give her
a surprise. We've seen Charlotte. We knew. Come
Yeah,
on.
I'm a big Piper Niven fan because I watched her in NXT UK, and she is a beast.
Oh, you watch her, and even just before NXT UK, you find some of that stuff that she did over in the UK, and when she was Viper Niven, she went by Viper Niven, and yeah, she's a Scottish badass.
Yeah, I would have been happy if she had done it. That would have been, but we knew Charlotte was going to win it, and
I predicted it. I kind of figured she was going to. I didn't have a problem with it.
Everyone predicted it.
I think it's going to be Flair. I think she's going to end up taking on Tiffy Times. What I think's going to happen, we'll see. We'll see where we go with that.
I'd like to see her go after Ripley. I know some people don't want to see it a third one, but
yeah, because they're 1-1.
I think them two together is going to create another magical match. I think.
Warren, what was your thoughts on the women's Royal Rumble?
It was good. Obviously, like I said, I wanted the man in there so bad. I wanted to mark out and yell, "Whoa, oh!" as she come out and feeling her, because her energy is awesome and always crazy. But it was no surprise once they did bring Flair out, especially near the end of the numbers, that it was like, okay, they're going to protect her. They're going to let her get a little of the ring rust off. There's already going to be a lot of other ladies in there, so there's not going to be a lot of focus on her. It was fun. I think my MVP of the women's Rumble is Chelsea Green.
She's very entertaining.
It was. I think she got us from the start to Flair with what she kept us, her and Grace individually kept us if you want to focus on a couple things, those were the ones that you're like, all right. And so it was fun. It was good. It was great. But yeah, I mean, it's honestly the yin to the yang of the winners. I think, everyone's complaining about Charlotte Flair. Oh yeah, there he is. But
man, is he in the house? In the house?
But it was fun. It was great. And the unfortunate downside was it was so awesome that as we get into this next match, it was hard to stay excited.
Okay,
Chris.
I really enjoyed the women's Rumble match. I agree with what Warren was saying about. Of course, I'm gonna forget her name now.
Chelsea Green.
Yeah, Chelsea Green.
Yeah, she was outstanding.
Like I said, I loved when Trish came out, because I wasn't expecting it, and I've always been a big Stratus fan, so I thought that was cool. I figured Flair was going to win, but I didn't have a problem. I thought she looked good, and like Dad said, she got a good pop when she came out and everything.
And when she won too.
Yeah, I really didn't have hardly any complaints with the match. I thought it was a great match to kick the show off. The fans was into it the whole time.
They teased the Bailey EO that little quick face off there where people are like, oh, and then yeah.
I do like that they added the stat ticker thing on the bottom of the screen.
That's outstanding.
That was amazing. As soon as I saw it, I told Dad, I said that was a great idea there.
I agree. Big Glenn, what'd you think of the women's Royal Rumble?
It was last night. You can see my excitement of the videos I posted for most of the entrants that came out. The NXT flavor was amazing. The only disappointment, and I think we're all in unison on this one, was having Nikki Bella out there with freaking ass. ASS. It made no sense whatsoever, and that's the only negative. But Austin
said Roxanne should have won.
There should be another one.
Hey,
I just don't think she's ready yet. I don't think she's quite ready.
Yeah, she gonna get there, Austin.
She's fantastic.
The NXT talent was amazing. I love having Julia out there and Stephanie Vaquer. that stuff. That was obviously the match tonight. And same what Warren was saying about Chelsea Green. She's very entertaining.
Oh yeah. Okay, guys, let's move on to the tag team
and
match.
that thing with Nia Jax too. All them women on the outside, they all go scattered out everywhere. I loved it. I loved it.
See,
Yes.
But and you say that, Marcus, and I agree with you. But there was a lot of hate online from people who said there's no way but people were already it wasn't like she threw them all out. A lot of them were hanging on the ropes and stuff already. So it made sense. And I did. And again, look at the heat that she got.
Yeah.
So you need that heat to help make the match.
Because they did. They just like the whole side of the ring just exploded with people.
Oh, yeah, it did. That was very well done. Okay, let's move on to the tag team match, DIY versus the Motor City Machine Guns. Warren, what'd you think?
It wasn't the right type of match. I honestly, as I thought, I told all my friends this is going to be the order of these matches. That's all going to go. I think, and I have been a Motor City Machine Guns fan since early TNA, since before Shelley and Sabin were even together. I've been fans of them as wrestlers, so I've seen them and I've seen what they can do. This should have been the ladder match, and the ladder match should have been a Falls Count Anywhere match.
I disagree.
I think
I love the ladder match. I love the ladder match because it was simple. It was old school.
Tony, you heard Bubba today, right?
Huh?
You heard Bubba today on Busted Open.
I didn't.
Zero drama to the end. There was no drama.
I disagree with Bubba.
Owens was out flat in the ring, and Cody was just like, "I'm so full of energy."
Because that match it reminded me of a little bit of the very first ladder match before we got all the tables and all these 50 high spots and 2,000 ladders jumping all over the fucking place. I'd like the fact that all they did was beat each other with the ladder. I like to use the ladder in a little bit different ways, and it reminded me of Michaels and Razor Ramon a little bit, and that's why I like the physicality of it.
So look at Tony sound like Jim Cornette.
I mean that's what makes us great is because we can all disagree and it's awesome. But yeah, I just think the 2 out of 3 falls, and I've even heard it said too that this is like the least favorite gimmick match of anyone have you. Because you know they're not gonna do 2 straight pins and call. It's always gonna go to 3. The crowd wasn't into the story. There was not enough of a build to have a feel to where you wanted to get behind it.
What hurt that match, Warren, in my opinion, was the fact where it was at. It was right after a Rumble match, where hour and 15 long, and everybody got up to go to the damn bathroom because they was about to piss their pants. Like me, I had about to piss my pants. So I had to go to the bathroom, and I think that hurt. I think it hurt it. I think the first fall being 2 minutes in hurt it. Now
I like how they did that, though. I like how they did that.
Yep.
That was a pretty inventive way to get that, to miss the tag. The ref's like, no. So it was.
I thought it was a pretty good match. I didn't have was it what it could have been? No. Yeah. Because them two teams are capable of a lot more. But I didn't think it was a bad. I didn't think it was a bad match.
You want some of the greatest tag team wrestling to watch? Go watch TNA Generation Me versus the Motor City Machine Guns. That's what I want to see.
Yeah. See, I didn't think it was a bad match. I agree. I think them 2 teams could put on a way better match with them 4 guys, because all 4 of them guys, in my opinion, are great workers. I think they could have put on a lot better match, but I think just a lot of it was where you're at in the card. I don't know if there was a whole lot of matches they could have put right after that Rumble that the fans was still going to be all in because everybody going to the bathroom and that stuff. And then I do agree a different stipulation probably would have been better.
And to have the end. That made the profits coming out and like, I mean, were you guys like?
Warren, I watch SmackDown every week. That's pretty much what's been going on. If you've been watching SmackDown, that's kind of been the story. Now, if you hadn't been watching SmackDown, I can understand the confusion. But I watch SmackDown every week, so I know. That's the only reason I know is because of that. But for a newer fan or somebody who don't follow SmackDown every week, they wouldn't have knew that.
I do want to go back and watch if the ref saw him hit him with the cane, because if that's the case, then that's a disqualification.
Yeah.
What if it would, instead of being like 2 out of 3, if it would have been like a tornado tag rules?
I would have preferred that.
Something like that. Yeah. I think with them 4 guys, that would have let them guys shine a little more.
Marcus, what do you think?
I just think it was a filler. I think it was a bathroom match, honestly. There was nothing to it. And if you notice how 2 and 3 fall, we kept talking we wanted 2 and 3 fall matches because they were old school.
Yep.
As Warren said, if you ever see 2 or 3 fall matches lately, even in the Indies, that first pin is always within 2 minutes after the bell rings.
That's true. That's a good point. I don't
They,
disagree. That match could have been better. I won't argue that at all.
They
But
did.
again, it was a bad
agree.
spot.
Like street fight, falls count anywhere, that been good. But, I was not. Whoopee.
Glenn?
I'll keep it short and sweet. Everybody, it looked like everybody at once went up and got to the bathroom, went to the concession stand, and I'll leave that one at that.
I went to the bathroom, but I missed the first fall because it was so damn quick. But I got to see I liked the match. I thought it was pretty good. But again, I think it could have been better. Yep. Talking about the 2 out of 3 fall match we seen.
See, that's what I'm saying.
It was a very
that's
quick
what they
first
are.
fall.
2 or 3 fall matches are so. The first fall is just like bang every time now.
Next up, guys, Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens in the ladder match with both. Chris, let you go first.
Me go first. I loved it. I was into it the whole time. They used the ladder a couple different ways than I haven't seen. Especially when they were putting it putting it upright like that, laying down and going through it the long ways. And then I thought Kevin Owens broke his fucking neck when he took that Alabama Slam through that ladder at the end, and his head went in that rung. That looked cool, cool as hell. I know it probably didn't feel good, but it looked good. I really liked it.
I did too.
And one reason was what you had brought up too. It wasn't all the other weapons. They just used
no tables.
They just used the ladder.
Even though the crowd was asking for tables, they didn't bring the tables out. I like the fact that we didn't do that. That just me personally, and I understand some people like that, but I like this being more old school.
Yeah, but I really enjoyed it. And Cody Rhodes pop when he came out, and he got about halfway down that aisle and done the second time, dude. That place, it felt like the roof was just, it was loud. I mean, that was one of the loudest pops of the night as well. And,
it was on Friday too, by the way. I forgot to mention that.
Marcus?
Oh, I loved it. And I agree. I love how they used the ladder by breaking chunks of them off, pieces of them, and smack. I mean, they were using weapons, but it was broken ladder pieces, and I loved it.
It was very different.
I mean, I love Kevin Owens' shirt as well.
Yes, which I'd seen that, but I had seen that.
I've seen it before too, but I love that shirt.
I saw a guy in the convention center wearing one. I was like, oh, yeah. But I do want to say, since he is in the chat, hey, Alex, how about we have a step ladder match with the size of ladders they used in that, you and me, all right? And we can just have 3 rungs to crawl off and go at. But, I mean, like I said,
triple threat.
It was a good match. It did not have me on the edge of my seat. I never, ever felt like Cody Rhodes was in danger. Ever.
When he was swinging.
Like the swing was cool, but there was never that feel that Owens was close to the top, that he was going to get there. There was never that part where you're like, oh my God, are we really going to see this? There were it was never there. That's what I love about a ladder match, is that sense of this could happen. And they didn't even, it was cool. They didn't use tables. They stuck to the ladders. That was really super cool. But the fact it wasn't, and then, there was never that feel. And that's what was the disappointing part. I would have loved to have seen them both get up there and just, as they're top, throwing the fists on each other and one of them falling back. Or, a little bit more of Sami Zayn maybe coming in and maybe holding the ladder if they're both going on and trying to keep them both from not trying to kill themselves, since there's that which side is he on type feel and all this stuff.
I don't disagree with what you're saying.
But also, I wonder, as we process more of it, because there was the whatever it was he did off the ropes. Owens did the ropes on Cody, and they both Cody hit the ladder. Owens hit the ladder. You saw him go my shoulder. Owens was talking about his shoulder. Cody sort of laid there for a moment. I just wonder if maybe there was some injury there that caused them to make changes on the fly. That possible. Maybe there was more there than so that's why we didn't have some of that stuff. and maybe there was more planned to it. But like I said, the end was very anticlimactic.
I think they was trying to be very different. I really do. I think they was trying to. I think it was trying to be different, and I think he wanted to take, because of the story of Ben about the package, about the pile driver and him taking Cody out, and he took out Randy Orton. I think he took him out, and now I think the story is going to insert Sammy into it somehow, and I think we may see that tonight, or in the near future. Again, I think they was trying to be different. I think because you see most ladder matches, you see him on top battling it out, and I think we're used to that. And I think they was trying to do something different. It worked for me, but it didn't work for you. I mean, I understand. I mean, everybody's different.
That's the great thing about wrestling.
Yes.
Yeah.
Austin made a very good point. I don't disagree with him. Maybe that tag match should have started the show.
Yeah. Well, look what they did Friday night at the Unrated show. Jake Oman and Elijah, just a normal old tag team, get us all seated, get us all situated, and then we started the main beating the hell out of each other with anything else.
You might have made the show might have flowed a little better if you'd done that too, done that tag match, and then done like the women's rumble, then done the ladder match, and then the men's rumble.
Yeah, it may have helped. It may have helped that tag match, though. Yeah, I don't disagree with that all. Well, Glenn.
Ladder match was great. Very fantastic. I love the stamina dynamic. I give that one. It'll be the number 2 show or the number 2 match of the night.
Yeah, I thought Sammy added a lot of drama to it coming out. I think I like that. I thought it added something to it. At least it did for me.
Yes.
Next up, we got the main event, the Men's Royal Rumble. Marcus, we'll go to you first.
All right, I agree 100% with Austin. Match of the night.
Yeah, it was the match of the night for me too.
We all thought Cena was going to win it. I love the fact that Jey Uso did. Tony, did you yeet? Was you out there doing this?
I did yeet.
Chris, how about you, Chris? Was you doing it?
Chris yeet. Austin yeeted. So did his girlfriend.
What about you?
It was
Warren?
yeeting all over the damn place. Marcus, they was yeeting. Marcus, they was yeeting 10 minutes.
Hey, Marcus, nobody left, dude. For what? At least 10, 15 minutes, everybody was
still
eating.
yeeting after the show.
Yeah,
it was over.
It was.
They went off there. It was still yeeting.
On the pay-per-view, they got done. They showed the credits. They went to doing a whole shitload of commercials. They came back and they were still showing everybody out.
Yeah.
Like 6 minutes later.
That whole side by underneath the WrestleMania sign, that sea of people, it was just constant.
Yeah.
They didn't stop.
I would have loved to have had to see that in person. I mean, you guys
yeah,
had
that
an
was
opportunity because you don't feel that until you are part of that.
Yes.
And that's why the keyboard warriors are wrong in who won this.
Yes.
Right there. They weren't there. They did not see it. That's why they were wrong. Because these same people that are complaining about not having Punk or Rollins or whatever are the same people that were glad that Flair won.
Yeah, well, no, the people that complain about being predictable. Flair was predictable, and I agree it was predictable. And sometimes there's nothing wrong with being predictable. Okay? I have no problem with Flair winning. That's me personally. I did not see Jay coming. The odds on bet.com was 66-1 for Jey Uso to win that match. That's what the odds were. Betting odds.
The way that match, I'd picked Cena.
I'd pick Punk
earlier in the week, but the way that match was going, I was convinced Logan Paul was winning it. The way the match was going, I thought Logan Paul was going to win it. And then when he got put out, like, okay, Cena's going to win it. It never crossed my mind that Jey Uso was going to win that match.
But that's the brilliance the way they put that match together with Logan Paul. The heat that he got, it made it even more better when Jey Uso won. I mean, I thought personally, I think it's the best men's Royal Rumble I've ever seen. And before that, my favorite was the one with Ric Flair won it. That was my favorite one.
Here's what we saw. We saw the turn. We saw the changing. Because people have to be honest. These fans have to be honest with themselves. Seth Rollins is about to become part-time. CM Punk is going to become part-time. Cena's on his last year. You know, all these big guys they wanted to win are close to being. Roman is wanting to be part-time.
He is part-time.
You need to build a new guy. Here's your guy in Jey Uso, who the fans already love and are behind, and you can bank on this guy to go and put it something.
And that's the thing. Triple H is listening to the fans, just like they finally listened to the fans about Daniel Bryan. You know, Daniel Bryan, the Yes Movement, the Kofi Kingston thing, Kofi Mania. I mean, Jay's got that. He's got that going. I mean, he does, and you can't take that away from him. I mean, is he the best in the ring? Is he the best wrestler I've ever seen in the ring? No, but neither was Stone Cold Steve Austin when he was at his prime, or not his prime, at his height, his popularity. He wasn't a great wrestler then.
That's the coolest moment that I've ever been a part of, with all 70,000 people eating like that. I mean, it was crazy. I mean, just the energy in the building. I mean,
Bear was even up there on the damn table. I mean, shit. If he
Yeah, they made him all get on the table.
That's a big deal.
Oh yeah, I'm watching. All three announcers were doing it. They were all standing. They were all going at it, and it was that moment. And yeah, so I just all these people that are so negative on this, you've got to understand. You've got to move on. Sometimes you have to remove the stale and the predictable, and you've got to create something new. You've got to shake up the foundation, and that's what Trips did. He shook up the foundation and said, "We're going to strap a rocket to this guy."
And not only that, Warren, a lot of them can't stand the fact that they were wrong. They didn't predict it. They won't be able to predict it, and then they'll still say, "Well, it's predictable." Yeah, when things don't go their way. I mean, don't get me wrong. There's guys that I like better than Jey Uso, but Jey Uso is very deserving, and has proved himself. I mean, he's a guy. I seen an interview today with him on with McAfee. I mean, the dude's a humble guy. He busts his ass. He deserves to be where he's at. I think him and there's a story with him and Gunther. They've wrestled 3 times. He's never beat him.
But if you haven't seen that interview, you ought to go check out. It'll be on YouTube. Just the clip of the interview. It was a good interview. And then Hulk Hogan was on there today too. I haven't got to watch that yet.
His runs anyway.
You heard that one say, Chaz? Hulk Hogan was on today.
There's no guarantee it's going to be him and Gunther. There's no guarantee Gunther's going to hold that belt all the way to WrestleMania. They could easily make a lot of changes. I thought something that'd be cool is if what they got in their back pocket is tonight on Raw in the next few minutes. I know we're up against time, but Gunther comes out, Jay challenges him, and Gunther's just like, you can't beat me no matter when, where, or how. And Jay just gets fired and goes, well, let's do it now. And just put it on now, and they go now, and they burn that now. And then if they want to throw one of the part-timers in later down the road and have them do something, they can. But there's no, but it's going to be a great build. It's going to be a great build if he goes after Gunther, because I think Gunther's going to continuously gloat him as you can't beat me. And if you look out, you can't beat me.
If you looked around that stadium, other than like a lot of people had like the Royal Rumble Colts jerseys and Pacer jerseys on, but Jey Uso merch was just as you saw just as much of it, if not more than anybody else. Cody Rhodes and Jey Uso.
Him and Cody sold out.
Kids were wearing the Yeet glasses, and you see it on Netflix. He comes out with rappers, so he's got that demographic. He's got all of it, and that's what they need.
And not only that, especially if they end up turning Cody, you got to have that big baby face to replace Cody, and you've got it right there with Jay.
And you've got a guy that's gonna work all the time, not be a part timer, not be calling it in a year.
Some notes real quick, guys. Some notes real quick, and you guys can comment on it. What'd you guys think of Penta and Ray? I loved them being the first 2 guys in there.
Penta was out early. What are you talking about?
I know what you're saying, but hey, things happen sometimes. Now it was really close on TV. That's why they didn't show it again, because he did touch.
Yeah. It was never up on those screens.
No.
McAfee on commentary, I think we need a review, and then nothing else was said about it.
They told him to shut up.
Yeah, Colt told him to shush. Yep.
Next up, Braun Breaker. I think Braun Breaker's the future.
He was impressive.
And
he killed Speed.
He killed.
What are you talking about? Oh my God!
He killed the streamer. Golly.
That was fun too. That was cool how they did that.
Yep.
And Marcus, it was we waited, and then they showed the camera, and they were back like, so we saw backstage stuff too, but we couldn't hear. And then when we see him he's just grabbing someone.
Yep. Yeah, that was something else.
And it was nice how they set that up. How because they did the thing with Triple H giving him the green light, or was a week or two ago, saying it's okay for you to stream our stuff. So they set it up as why he would be there.
Jacob Fatu. Marcus, what do you think of Jacob Fatu?
That man's a beast.
Killing it.
That man's a beast.
Yes.
I agree 100%. I love watching him.
They're letting him show his personality. He's going to be a major star.
Yeah, like just his mouth is like, it's just
his facial expressions are awesome.
Yeah.
The boogeyman
Yeah,
shimmy.
He's gonna be the new Chris.
Yeah,
I'll tell you that right now.
Did you guys have a problem with him getting? I didn't have an issue with him getting eliminated by the person who got
He should
eliminated.
have been there at least a little bit longer, honestly.
Because Strowman threw him out. Strowman's
Yeah.
a beast too.
He's
He
like,
got
a
it.
reason. He had a reason to.
Yes.
Yeah, he-
So I thought it made perfect sense. Other than it was only a week. Maybe they should have did 2 or 3 weeks before that because he's coming back in 1 week. I
I
can't
agree
see
with
that
that.
gripe. I can
Didn't
see
sell
that
the
gripe.
injury
I don't
much,
disagree
yeah.
with that. But if he was in there, that should have been the guy. If he was going to eliminate him, he should have been the guy that done it because it's for the story. Joe Henry.
Oh,
Second
yeah.
round, top of
I'm
the night.
gonna start that
Well,
one
so
off.
you tell me, you guys were there. What was it like
He-
when that?
When
He's
he
over.
did that clap, it shook the building.
It
I've
was
never
over,
felt-
and it was great. And what one thing, it was a very small thing. I love Sheamus over in the corner, just watching him. And then when he start doing the clap, Sheamus started doing it with him. And then when
Yeah,
who was it that
Feel
took him
it.
out? Was it who attacked Henry?
I can't remember now.
Was it Jacob Fatu? I think.
I think it
And
was.
that's when Sheamus said, "What are you doing?"
I was enjoying
He
that.
said, I was enjoying that. And I love that. Just little small things like that I really enjoy. So I really like that.
Yeah, Joe making that floor shake was amazing. He
Roman,
did that
Punk, Cena, and Seth Rollins there when they're looking at each other all at the same time. I really like that kind of face-off thing. I thought that was really cool. Logan Paul had great heat, guys. I mean, I know he's hated.
I just think if he had won, you
Oh,
would have had a
he should've
riot. Those people
Oh,
would have lost their freaking mind.
me and Austin was afraid he was going to win. I said, this place is going to go nuts if he wins
It
this match.
will. You will have the
I'm
riot.
telling you, the way the match was going, I thought he was going to win, and I was ready for it because that place was going to go crazy and it'd been awesome.
You know what's funny about that, Chris?
Well,
Is the fact
I'm glad they
that
did what they done because the moment with Jey Uso was outstanding.
You know what's funny about the Logan Paul thing is I mentioned about Logan Paul would probably end up winning it. You know, I mean,
People was mad that he eliminated Punk. That's who he should be eliminating.
Well, yeah, because now they got a feud going. Yep.
Well, he's gonna feud. It's looking like he's gonna feud with Styles, which was freaking awesome too. Him coming out,
AJ, yeah, I
full
agree.
music. I jumped up and I was automatically. That one got me.
I'll tell you what, Penta. I know he had that mess up, but Penta was impressive too.
Oh yeah,
He was in there for a long time. I think 47
And
minutes.
I would have bought a Penta shirt at that Superstore if they had a black one instead of just that white.
yeah, corny
'Cause
white.
I love the design on it, but I just didn't want
Well,
I didn't want the white shirt.
I got this Cody shirt, but I wanted the Cody Kevin Owens ladder match shirt, but it was white. And I know how I am with a white shirt. It ain't gonna be worth crap here the next day, so that's why I didn't get it.
But
Barbecue.
I will say this: I'm a big sports fan. I love going to, like, NFL games. Like, and you guys know, on Monday nights, I usually watch Monday Night Football. I don't watch Raw every Monday night, but going to that Saturday night, that's the best live event I've ever been to. Concert,
Same.
I don't care, sporting event. I've never been to nothing that had that kind of energy and just the production and everything. That's the best event I've ever been to.
I agree with you. And I was lucky enough to go to a World Series, 1976 Reds and many years ago, 1976 the Reds and Yankees World Series.
I mean,
I got to go to that.
We went to SummerSlam years ago at Gamebridge, but I mean this being in the stadium and
Yeah,
everything, it
yeah.
just
It was second to me outside of my WrestleMania weekend in Arizona. Back when it was a one-nighter, because that was Michaels versus Taker 2. That was, there was a lot of going on, and then I got to go to Monday Night Raw, which was Shawn Michaels' retirement. I mean, even though I know he had one other down the road thing, but that was it, and that was cool because I got to see Taker come out, do the hat, Triple H, and so it was cool. It was definitely a second one to me. But now, how quickly do we think LA Knight's push is going to fall now?
I think he's probably done.
I don't know. I don't know. I don't. Again, we're listening to dirt sheets. We don't know all the facts, so I don't know.
Because that sounded like. But I guess also too. I mean, if what we're to believe is Drew's not too hyped about going up against Damian Priest, but.
Yeah, we'll see. We don't know. Things change. You can't believe everything Meltzer and them morons say.
And Indianapolis showed up.
Yep.
I
Yes,
don't
they
care
did.
what these people online talking about. The fans were bad or what. I mean, everything around the city was great.
All the
And
guys I
the
talked to in
fans
the
were
hotel
into
we
it.
stayed at
Indianapolis,
were like,
I think, showed up.
yeah. And I mean, one last thing I wanted to hit on with Jay is what I don't know if you saw it on TV, Marcus, but Cena immediately was back in that ring, and Cena was immediately hugging him and was immediately giving him that. And as I heard him say, I heard someone say, Buster Open say, Cena literally told the wrestling nation that this win is A-OK, that you need to be behind this.
Did you hear what Cena told Jay? Told me, he said, I remember when we were together on your first tour. Now look at it. All these people are here for you.
Yeah, that's what I told him. I told him congratulations, and he got out of the ring. That's what
I like the fact that, because not to make Juan Sanchez correct, but Hogan glory hogged. Warrior beat him, and he still glory hogged it. So, yeah, Cena congratulated the winner and let the winner have their glory. So,
yep, it was great. I'm glad I could be a part of it. I'm glad my wife could be a part of it. I'm glad all of you guys can be a part of it. I'm so glad everyone watching could be a part of this with me, because it was a effing awesome adventure, and I can't wait for the announcement of when the next one's going to be, if it's going to be Slam or Mania. So.
Yep, I'm gonna be saving my money somehow. I know. The only thing that I probably won't be able to go both days, but I'm gonna try to figure out a way to go to WrestleMania one day.
Well, think about this though.
As long as the Fever season tickets are in my account before Christmas, I'll be there. I'll get rid of all my season tickets to go.
They'll do SmackDown. You have a chance to go to the Hall of Fame.
Yes.
Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I would like to do that too. I think that'd be awesome to go to the Hall of Fame, especially depending on who the class is that year.
Yeah, it's the best event I've ever went to. I agree with Chris. For me, I think it's up there as the best Rumble ever.
Jay starting Raw.
Yeah, Jay. I know Jay was going to be on Raw. He's starting it.
Well, and I didn't go to the Rumble, but I'm telling you, I still had the best time of my life, wrestling-wise, Saturday night.
Oh. Yeah, that attitude.
I mean, come on.
I had the best wrestling weekend.
1,000 people.
Yep.
We commentated for 1,000 people.
Yep.
Never thought we'd be doing that. And all 5 members of GWR was at a midnight show. Yeah.
Yeah, a midnight show kicked my ass, Marcus.
Midnight show kicked everybody's ass.
Yep. Place is going nuts.
The whole place is eating.
I'm trying to remember where they at, but I don't remember.
Or Cleveland,
Ohio.
It had to be probably Cleveland or Chicago. I couldn't remember.
Screw Cleveland.
Only reason I knew they were in Cleveland because on McAfee they were talking about.
Yep. Well, guys, we had an awesome time. Hopefully, all the fans did. I just wish people wouldn't get so upset when the guy don't win or if it don't go the way they predicted it. Man, I understand people don't like the fact that Charlotte won or Jay won or whatever. Hey, just watch the story and go for the ride, man. Have a good time. Don't take it too serious.
Do the big win. Go enjoy it the whole weekend.
Well, just like Gary Emmett said.
Yep.
Cheer who you like, boo who you don't.
Yep.
Just support it.
Yeah, I had a blast. I had a blast the whole weekend. WCWO stuff was awesome on Friday. Going to the Superstore, then WrestleCon. I didn't even get no autographs or nothing while we was there, but just walking around and getting to see all the older superstars, and then seeing. I ain't gonna lie, seeing Austin's face when he got to get this picture with Rob Van Dam was cool because he was excited,
Austin,
especially when RVD started doing the pose with them.
And this was his girlfriend's first show she ever been to.
Yeah, it was JC's first.
Other than an independent
she'd never
show.
been to a WWE show or anything before.
No big shows ever. This was it. This was the first one.
Well, she'll be disappointed with the next one then.
Because now that's WrestleMania or SummerSlam, she might not be.
Well, that's true.
But yeah, we had a great time. I hope everybody that got to attend had a great time. Hopefully, people got to watch. Mark, you enjoyed the show pretty much?
Oh yeah. I mean, I was disappointed I couldn't go, but we couldn't have gone anyway.
Yeah, I understand.
But I was enthralled, and I was happy for everybody that I knew because shoot. And you guys were all there, but so was a whole bunch of other people that we know. Yeah, and I was just happy that Indy turned out the way it did. So yeah,
I think, and I hope they all get the props. But Lucas Oil Stadium, those people, for as many people as there, did an excellent job of getting people in. It was an excellent job of getting people out. I never felt crunched. I never felt that. I will say this one. I don't know if you guys noticed this, Chris and Tony, but I kept looking across the way from us at that upper deck.
Mm-hmm.
There was a few open rows.
There's a few up at the top. Yeah, there's a few open seats.
I'm not one to get into the whole who's in seats type conversation between, but I was like, oh, there's something there.
Don't be that guy.
It was, like I said, me and 65,000 plus of my closest friends had a blast Saturday night.
Well, I think actually what they sold, as far as tickets sold on Razzle Tix, was 66,000 something. But what they do in attendance, they do everybody in the building. So they said 70,000, but because they don't say tickets sold.
And I'm on the auto thing. So
all I know is we could all say we were at the biggest Royal Rumble ever.
Yeah.
And that's the third largest WWE gate of all time.
Yeah, that doesn't surprise me.
Single night.
Especially
Or single night gate. Yeah. But still. I mean, so.
And I got to go into the bathroom before we left. I ran into a guy and his son, and they were just having a great time, and asked if they enjoyed the show. And he said, yeah. And he said, yeah, I went to WrestleMania 13. He got to see Bret Hart and Stone Cold. He was there.
In the blood match, yeah.
13. And he told me he liked this show better. That's how much. I mean, him and it may have been because his son was with him. His son looked like to be maybe 13, 14. I mean, they were having a blast, and we was talking. So, and there was a lot of kids there. There was a lot of people that was having a good time. So, and that's what you want.
And that's another cool thing about wrestling events. If you haven't been to one, is 90% of the people are friendly and just like you'll be walking through and somebody will see a shirt you have on and they'll yell one of their chants at you or something. You know what I mean? It just there's that many people in there and everybody was just talking to people they don't even know, all because of one common interest.
Yeah. I mean, I was a little upset. I didn't get to see R-Truth have his Royal Rumble moment. I was sort of hoping for an R-Truth sighting, but I actually yelled out R-Truth wins or we riot, and I got a few chuckles around.
Well, you noticed something. They didn't hardly use any tag team people.
And there wasn't a lot of old timers. There wasn't a lot of nostalgia. It was very, like I said, I feel it was a very key turning point in what we're doing, along with Netflix. I think they're sort of ready to make that next big turn and see what happens.
And they announced a new TV show, Evolve.
It'll
be on Tubi. Free on TV on Tubi every Wednesday night, and that's going to be the ID people and other NXT people that's not on TV right now. Will be shown every Wednesday night at 8 p.m. on Tubi.
And also, how cool was it that we got to see Stephanie McMahon?
Yeah, that was cool too.
First appearance since she stepped down from her position.
I still think she's got a position in the company. I just don't think they want people to know.
Yeah, I have to agree with you on that one, Tony. You know how it is up there.
We just finished up that Mr. McMahon thing on Netflix last night. So yeah.
Yep. It's one of those on that I don't have any desire to go watch it again. Most documentaries I'll do it. I have no desire to go back and watch that shit.
Bruce Pritchard can suck eggs. That's how after I watched that last episode, Pritchard can suck eggs. He's such a tool.
Well, I agree with what you're saying. He probably shouldn't feel the way he does, but Vince McMahon did a lot for him, and he's loyal. I'm not saying he should be loyal, but he's loyal.
Pritchard knows where the bodies are buried.
Probably. I bet you ain't the only one. I bet you Michael Hayes knows too.
Yeah, because Michael Hayes got named.
And that just came out. Michael Hayes got named.
All right, gang. This was a blast.
Yeah, it was fun, man.
Fun time always, Gonzo Nation.
Hey, we'll have WrestleCon coming up here pretty soon, won't we? That's not too far away.
Circle, April.
Yep.
WrestleCon's before that, man. Comic-Con's before that.
Yeah, March.
That's going to be a huge weekend.
Yeah, it is.
Are we getting Marcus at Comic-Con this year?
Joey says he's got me in there this year.
We can get you in there.
They're going to figure out who's going to drive the car back to the dub, and
we'll figure out a way. We'll get you in there.
Yep.
You have to experience the Comic-Con at least one time.
Yeah, you do.
And you think you're tired now?
We've already talked about that.
We talked for 3 days of that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right, we appreciate everybody watching. Please hit that subscribe button on YouTube, like and follow Facebook, Twitch, X, Instagram, all at Gonzo Sports Room. And we will see you guys next Monday.
That'd be absolutely devastating.
Here, this is Joey Owens' show. They've been trying to get me on this broadcast forever, and this is the worst damn broadcast I've ever been on. So you